Hello there and welcome to my beginner's guide for Caves of QUD. In this video I'm going to give you all the necessary things you require to enjoy this game. So we're going to go over character creation, controls, and the general gameplay loop, and I hope by the end of this video you know your ways well enough to just enjoy yourself around here. Now, let's get started with starting a new game. When you're starting, first up you got to decide whether you want to play permadeath, which is the classic roguelike experience, or roleplay. So it really depends on whether you want to play the game a lot and you want to play a ton of different characters, then classic is the way to go. When you just are searching for the experience of clearing the game and getting done with it for the achievements and playing it through in one session, whatever might be your intention, roleplay is a good choice because you get to checkpoint back at settlements, which means you don't die if something bad eats you, and believe me, it will. So, when you are on this point, I strongly recommend to stick to the presets. Obviously, you can create yourself a character here in this game, but I think it's best served when you know your ways around a little bit here. Among the presets, I will go for a mutated human, because as a matter of fact, I personally find Truekin almost harder to play than the mutated human. Maybe that's just me. So among the presets, you can select between these guys here. I would warmly recommend for beginners the Marsh Tour, because that setup is just amazing to just stay alive and get acquainted with the game. We're going to choose that here. I just want to lose a few quick words. If you want to create your own character class, you get to select a background. So choose whatever weapon type you want on this end, and you get to choose between all those mutations. As a rule of thumb, try to stick to 3 to 4 different mutations per character concept and try to pick stuff that fits together. We're playing here with the preset because it's a lot easier. Here we have a selection of things that just work well together. We're allowed to freeze enemies without any weapons by a freezing ray. We are super fast via multiple legs, and we get to teleport. So enemies have a hard time to stick onto us, which is exactly what we want. We also have a negative mutation in form of amphibious, which means we will require more water than other people. But more about that in a minute. So let's create that character. Your starting location here, stick to Joppa until you know what this world and all is about, because this place gives you a guaranteed access to a couple of things that make it easy to get yourself started. So when you're out here, this little thing down here where my cursor is at is your character. You move your character via the numpad. So make sure numlock is on, and then you have 8 for north, 2 for south, 4 for west, and so on and so forth. This is how you control your character, and diagonal movement is also possible. Now, you see around here all the different control elements of the game. I'll stick to the things that are really important to know for this video. I warmly recommend, when you press escape you get into the options, that you look into your own options menu when you are lost. Get to the controls, control mapping, and here you can find all the different controls. And this isn't so far interesting as you can also search for certain things, and if you don't know how to do something, search for it. It helps. I cannot explain all the shortcuts in this game because there's just too many. This is one way how you can get it done. Now, here, this is your starting location. When you press tab, you get your character menu. You have here in this skills tab all the different things that you can learn. Basically, you are able to use whatever you take into your hands, and with these things that you learn here, you get more acquainted with certain things like bows, long blades, and various different things. The necessary skill points that you require here come from leveling, so you will learn your way around that. Also, mind you, that all the things that you want to learn have certain requirements of attributes. So check it out before you learn stuff, so you can increase your attributes accordingly. The attributes that you see here were defined at character creation, so you can nudge your way around here to your own liking. All the attributes also passively increase different things. As a rule of thumb, strength goes for melee builds, agility goes for ranged builds, toughness is amazing for everybody, and the intelligence, willpower, and ego, well, ego is for magic, and willpower is going towards skill activations, and intelligence is identifying stuff and how many points you get here. Alright, we got all that. Here, the secondary attributes and all are best explained in their respective tooltips. I'm not going to obsess about that here in the beginner's guide too much. The equipment screen is much more interesting. Over here, we see all the different items that we wear and the stuff that we have on ourselves. When it comes down to weaponry and armor, the most important things to note here is you see that bronze battle axe. Arrow 5 means how hard can the weapon penetrate. 5 layers of armor, and the number behind that is the amount of damage per penetrated armor layer. It sounds a little bit complicated, but it boils down simply to if this weapon hits a unarmored enemy, it can deal up to 5 D2 damage, and if it hits a armored enemy, you slowly lose damage via the more armor the enemy has. Your own stuff works the same, so your own gear, the blue stuff is your armor rating and the gray stuff is your evasion rating. So armor can give you absorption and or evasion. Alright? Alright. So over here you can also do your crafting here. Here's your journal and your quest journal. Various factions in the game, there's really a ton of them, and your reputation towards them, and the message log, all accessible via tab. When you are here, you want to talk to a couple of people. This yellow guy right next to me, you press C for talking, and then you walk towards that guy. You get into that dialogue thingy. Quick words about dialogue. First up, Mehmet is your first quest giver, so you can talk to this guy and get yourself your first quest helping out that village. Also, you can talk to people and do a water ritual. This is basically a diplomatic we are friends now move. Water in this game is your money and stuff of survival. So you pay with water, you have to drink water to stay alive, and you will sell stuff to get yourself water. And the water ritual makes you friends with these guys. You get access to various things. I'll show you here. So you can make yourself friends with the villagers of Joppa, but you also make yourself enemies with everybody who's also enemies with these guys. When your reputation is high enough, you can also learn various things from these factions, and this is a basic faction interaction that is not only with the people of Joppa happening, but with everybody. It's a basic system. You gather reputation, and then you can learn stuff from them, or even take them with you if you have enough reputation. There's various things possible. When you press tab, you can trade with the folks. Trading in this game is quite simple. You click whatever you want to sell, as you see it here, or you have various options to go for only part of it. So you can see down here the different choices. Whatever it boils down to, you select something, and when you press now O, you start the trade. As you see here, I have put 5.6 grams of water, 1 gram, $1 basically, and if I now press O, the person there will give me 5.6 pieces of water basically. As long as I have empty water skins, I can carry that currency with me. I can, of course, also buy stuff with the guy, but I want to show you where you can buy stuff better. That's at your friendly Dromat person back there. This one. This guy has way more items for sale. Over here, you see also that the prices are quite heavy. What's most important to stress out, don't give away all your money because you're drinking your money. You're going to die without it. So, you need it. As a rule of thumb, I personally would always recommend everybody to buy themselves at least one ranged weapon over the course of the time. Ideally, these muskets are really good, even if you are not too good with ranged weapons in generally, but a short bow also helps. The thing is, just even if you are not a ranged fighter, being able to shoot at your enemy while he's moving on into you is a pretty good thing. So you can here look at the various buildings in the village. One other thing, very important for this build, pressing L for look. Now you can control with your numpad that yellow rectangle here and examine various things. This is super important for this build. Let me show you why. Build game. Sorry. For example, we look at this statue, or the shrine, and it has history. Now you press escape, and all of a sudden, you gain knowledge of this Sultan Reshev. There's so many things where you can learn something by just looking at a place. So over here, for example, north of the village, there's always a graveyard with a statue there. And when you examine that statue, not the dragonfly, you get, again, here a piece of history, including a location of a place. So looking at things is extremely important. This goes even as far that if you find a engraved or lacquered item, look at it. There's often a piece of history in the engravings that then gets added into your journal. And as you see here, we've learned the location of a historical site due to that. So, looking, that's one thing. The other thing is you need to move eventually over the overworld map. So S to leave places, to go upstairs, and D to go downstairs. I mean, D for downstairs is easy, and the other thing, S, I don't know. You can also use minus or plus for the same thing. That's easier for you. And yeah. So, back here to the world map. As you see there, there's various plots on the map. Pressing L here does the same thing. You can look at these different locations, get a little bit of a information about it, as for example here, the Kamu. Never travel too far out without too much water though. As you see here, I already spent $3 of water during my travel over here. So, over here we see up here now that we are hungry. Also, you see your HP and your level and very important information. So, when you're hungry, you press A and you can here activate all manner of your different activatable abilities. Down here you see them also, and you can also configure your hotbar. Anyways, make camp. You press just anywhere, and now you press Control Spacebar to interact with something, and now you interact with your campfire. Cook. And since we don't have any abilities towards cooking, this is all grayed out. But in this game, you don't need to carry anything around you to be able to cook yourself something. Cooking is just something that allows you to buff your character. Here you see the items here are just randomly spruced up things, and after this is done, you see we're now sated. You just need to bring yourself a campfire up, and that's that. Okay, next step. Let's move around here. This is the first dungeon that you're supposed to be at. And you see up here, Red Rock Surface is a slight little mini map. You have here a journal. And you're basically now looking to find an entrance. On your numpad, you also have the number 0. When you press that, you are in Auto Explorer. And here we found our first enemy. You saw that red thing flashing up. That's a baboon tossing rocks at us. So we are already pretty hurt by that. Sometimes you just get wrecked at the very beginning. This is because this guy threw a small boulder at us, and this thing has 50 pounds of value of weight. That's why this guy wrecked us. So, two options. You can now either just walk into the enemy and smack him, or you press F to fire a missile weapon, or you press T to throw a thrown weapon, or you press A to activate one of your abilities. So for example, Freezing Ray. So we do this to this guy, and now we charge into him, and now I walk into the same tile as he is, and now as you see here, I hit him with my bronze battle axe. There we go. There's that. And if you hit your regular tilde key, you heal up yourself completely. That's rest until healed. I don't know if your key bindings might be different. So there's the small baboon corpse. He also has small stones. If you press G, you can also pick up things. So if you want to use those small stones for yourself, you can. Up here, by the way, you see your carrying capacity, 43 of 349 pounds, so be careful. This is your quickness. This influences how fast you do things, like attacking and stuff. And this is your move speed. This influences how fast you move, obviously. And from here on, the only thing you need to do is press 0 again on your numpad and do auto exploring, or do it manually to your own liking. And as you see here, we gained a lot of XP by this by killing this baboon. And now you just look for an entrance to this place here, and you start exploring. Here it is. So you press D to go downstairs, and now you can check out creatures, walk into them. As you see here, the bat is peaceful. If you now hold down control and move via numpad onto the same space, you can force attack. This is quite useful if you just want to kill something that is neutral to you. And yeah, sometimes or quite often you also get attacked by stuff that is living on the walls. You need to kill that as well. And yeah, we gained a level, and we are almost done with this video. You almost know everything that you need to know. So after a level up, you sometimes gain attribute points. Here we didn't, so we can't increase anything. You gain mutation points, so we could now increase either of our mutations in any way. And you also gain skill points, so we could now increase our axe skills or learn an entire different venue of things. Everything out here is explained, and what's important to know is that you always first have to learn the basic, the top line here, cudgel, for 50 skill points to unlock everything down there. And as you see here, some of them are 0 SP. You always learn them automatically when you unlock the tree, so to speak. And yeah, you basically know the most important things now. You can now start looting everything you find down here and carry it back to Joppa and start selling things, start getting yourself acquainted, and start getting killed eventually. Because, gotta say, one word of advice in this game: when you see something new, press L and read the text. If it sounds particularly deadly, ask yourself, do you really want to fight that? And then you can also run away. Next lesson, run away if you see stuff that sounds dangerous. Pressing O for open, by the way, to open up chests. And yeah, there's so many things in terms of controls that you can do here in this game. And many things are also interactable with the mouse. So if you just right-click things on the screen, you don't know the shortcuts, you can also interact with things. As you see here, you also see the shortcuts involved. I am not capable of showing all of the different shortcuts because there's just too many, and even if I would be able to recite them all, I think no human being could memorize that. So just get yourself acquainted with everything that you feel like you want to, and use the mouse for the rest. I really, really strongly recommend that. And as a very last thing that I want to point towards to, the more skills you learn towards cooking and gathering and generally survival and tinkering, these are all economy skills, customs and folklore, for example, or diplomacy skills that allow you to gain more money or get allies faster. The rest, I think, is just pretty self-explanatory. Just keep in mind, use those active skills. They don't cost you any resources or anything unless it says so. And try to stay alive. Enjoy the world, and yeah, the world of Caves of QUD is big and will kill you over and over again, but there's really cool things to discover there. I hope this video helped you out to get your feet wet down here. And yeah, leave me your comments down below. If you have any questions left over, feel free to ask away. And as you see here, so quickly you can die by just not paying attention to the spider behind you. So, leave me your comments, leave a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and enjoy this game. It's a classic roguelike, like I haven't seen a good one since a long time. And if you don't like the permadeath thing, like I said, go for the roleplay mode and enjoy that. So, thanks for watching. Feel free to support the channel financially. There's a couple of links down there in the description box. And a lot of thanks for all of you who do. And a lot of thanks for watching this video, and I hope you'll get yourself acquainted with this game because it so much deserves your time. I've rarely seen a game that's such a labor of love, and yeah, feel free to try it out. See you soon, and thanks for watching.